The Celtic FC manager, Ange Postecoglou, does not expect the World Cup break to disrupt Celtic's season. And Celtic looking everywhere for talent, as Ange Postecoglou targets repeat of early January transfer business. Postecoglou is confident the upcoming World Cup break will not have an adverse effect on Celtic's season. The Celtic manager admitted there are a lot of unknown factors related to how teams will cope with having the campaign interrupted for around a month from mid-November onwards to accommodate the finals in Qatar. When asked if he had any concerns about his side being negatively impacted by the break, which comes almost a month and a half prior to when the Cinch Premiership usually has its January winter shutdown, Postecoglou said, "I hope not. I'm a bit more optimistic than that. It's obviously a bit different, but here in Scotland we usually have a break around that time of the year. The only difference is that some of our players will be at a World Cup. There are a lot of unknowns, not just for us, but for every club around the world, about what impact a mid-season World Cup has, but I tend to focus on the stuff that's known and what we can do to control the environment and make sure we're ready. That's what we'll do, and I'm optimistic that it won't all fall apart in the second half of the year." Postecoglou explained that Celtic are well prepared for how to manage their squad through the break. "It's been part of our planning from pre-season," he said. "You kind of work with the things that are known. And that is that we're going to Australia straight after the last league game for a week for a couple of games there. Then the players will have a mini break for about a week or so, and then we head to Portugal for a camp before the resumption. They are the knowns. The unknowns are which players end up going to the World Cup, where the other players are physically, and it's likely we'll have to have individual programs for some of them. For instance, if they go to the World Cup, when do we give them a break? When do they come back in? If they are in rehab, what sort of time off are we giving them? We've got a plan for the collective, but within that there will be some individual programs." Prior to the break, Celtic still have 8 games to negotiate in a 24-day period, starting with Wednesday's Premier Sports Cup quarter-final away to Motherwell. Postecoglou has demanded his team maintain maximum focus against a side currently 8th in the Premiership. "There are always teams that go on cup runs, sometimes belying their league form," said the Hoops boss. "Cup competitions sometimes free teams up a bit and give them license to be a bit more aggressive in their approach. From our perspective, it's about playing our football because we know that when we play well, we're hard to stop." Celtic will continue to be without Callum McGregor, Jota, Carl Starfelt and David Turnbull for the trip to Fir Park. "Jota's progressing, he's out training, but won't be right for tomorrow," Postecoglou said on Tuesday. "Jota and Turnbull are closest to coming back, but they'll miss tomorrow, then we'll see about the weekend. Cal and Carl are still weeks away." Celtic looking everywhere for talent as Ange Postecoglou targets repeat of early January transfer business. The Celtic manager Postecoglou says that Celtic are scouring the world for talent as he looks to get his January transfer business done early yet again. Planning is already well underway for the winter transfer window, with the Celtic manager reaping the rewards of bringing players in at the start of the same window last year, allowing the likes of Kyogo and Rio Hat-8 to hit the ground running upon their arrival in Glasgow. The Japanese market is one that the Celtic manager admits he may look to exploit again, but he also pointed to the signing of Alexandre Bernabei in the summer as evidence that the club are also looking for diamonds from all corners of the globe. "We are well underway with our planning for January," Postecoglou said. "It was really beneficial for us last year to do our business early in January. I think that helped us in the back half of the season. I think we are going to have to do something similar this January. Our strategy is already in place and hopefully it all comes together. We are looking everywhere in terms of our recruitment. Mark Lawwell is in the building now, and the reason I brought him in is that he knows what I am looking for. The brief is to scour the world for that. The Japanese and Asian market is one I am really familiar with, and I still think there is value there for players, and I know how they would fit into what we do. But we signed Alexandre Bernabei from Argentina, So South America is also an area we are looking at. With Mark now working and knowing how we do things, we know exactly what we are looking for. There are some parameters financially that we have to work with, but the key criteria is the kind of characters they are and how they conduct themselves. Whether they are from Europe, Asia, South America or Africa, we factor that into any player we bring in. Make sure you watch this video here.
Roll up to the